I'm Stephanie, and welcome to Fiction Files. This is the playlist where I share some of my writing advice or take a closer look at plots or character studies, anything that has to do with writing a novel. Today, we are looking at my favorite outlining methods for writing a novel. One problem I face when working on my writing is I have so many ideas for scenes and plot points and plot twists, but then when I open my document and stare at it, all my ideas have vacated my mind. I think a lot of writers feel the same way. I mean, there's writer's block for a reason, which is why many turn to creating in-depth outlines of their work before they start so they have a roadmap of where they want to go with their story. I've only recently become a plotter, as I've been a pantser for past projects, but got tired of realizing at the end that I had so many scenes that would need to be changed or cut that I decided I wanted to start pre-planning my story instead of just seeing where I end up. If you're starting to rely on outlines, these 5 are great starting points, as some are high level and allow you the freedom and flexibility pantsing gives you, and others help you drill down and really narrow down what scenes need to be in your novel and what can be recycled. So let's talk about 5 ways to plot and outline your novel. Number 1, the hero's journey. The most widely used and well-known novel structure is The Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell. Star Wars, The Lord of the Rings, and The Lion King all use the hero's journey to frame the story. It's about adventure, fighting bad guys, making new friends, and becoming a true hero. There are 12 steps to this classic plotting method, or 12 beats you need in your story to follow this formula. Number 1, the ordinary world. Show the status quo of the hero's day-to-day life and their normal life. Number 2, the call to adventure. The catalyst that starts the adventure or the invitation to go on the journey. Number 3, refusal of the call. The thanks, but no thanks from the hero who doesn't want to go on this adventure, nor do they want to disrupt their normal life. Number 4, meeting the mentor. The hero is inexperienced and can't do this journey alone, so they meet their mentor who will guide them and prepare them for this adventure. Number 5, crossing the threshold. The hero commits to go on the adventure and rescue the princess or learn how to be a Jedi. Number 6, tests, allies, and enemies. It's time to hit the hero with challenges and allow them to make friends and enemies, like Harry Potter befriending Ron and Hermione while defeating a troll in the bathroom, and Harry getting on the Quidditch team. Number 7, approach to the inmost cave. The hero is getting closer to their goal. The cave can be physical, like the Death Star, or mental, like the hero believing they'll never amount to anything. Number 8, the ordeal. The big test for the hero, which is generally where the hero hits rock bottom, but gets a glimmer of hope. Number 9, reward, or seizing the sword. There's light at the end of the tunnel for the hero, and they have what they need to be successful, like Dorothy getting the ruby slippers and the Wicked Witch's broomstick. Number 10, the road back. The hero must face the consequences of seizing the sword or facing a new battle. Number 11, resurrection. The climax of the story where they go through a resurrection after going through the final battle or test. And number 12, return with the elixir. The hero is triumphant and has won the prize, the elixir, and they're a changed person, which is the true prize. Number 2, the high-level novel outline. This plot outline focuses more on big story questions and moments and makes you know why each act is important and what question the reader should be asking to keep them turning the pages of your book. For this outline, you'll want to start with understanding your protagonist's want, so their external desire, the protagonist's need, the internal desire or outcome, the theme of your story, the protagonist's lie, and the protagonist's truth. Now it's time to outline your major themes and plot points. This structure uses the principle of 3, as each act has the same structure and same big questions you need to answer. This outline gives you a lot of freedom in what scenes or plot points will happen, but provides some direction on where the story is going or its overall feeling. So Act 1, the beginning. We have our inciting incident, complications, our crisis or our big question, the climax and the protagonist's choice, and a resolution. Act 2, during the journey, we again have our inciting incident, complications, crisis or big question, the climax with the protagonist's choice, and the resolution. And in Act 3, the ending, we have our inciting incident, complications, crisis or a big question, the climax and the protagonist's choice, and a resolution. Number 3, the 11-point outline. This outline is similar to the hero's journey in that it outlines the major beats or scenes you need to have in your timeline, but it also provides a lot of freedom with the scenes, especially the trials and tribulations section. Number 1, the hook. Why would a reader pick up this book and be intrigued to read of it? Think of this as the back cover copy description. Number 2, the protagonist. Who are we following, and how closely, or what point of view are we in? Number 3, the protagonist's world. Is it fantasy, or is it close to our own world? Number 4, why the protagonist is dissatisfied with their world. What will cause them to go on the journey, and why should a reader become invested in their transformation? Number 5, the inciting incident. What kicks off the story? Number 6, the point of no return. What makes the protagonist commit 100% to this journey? Number 7, trials and tribulations. How can you raise the stakes or make the journey one we want to see them succeed in? Number 8, the midpoint. Is the protagonist on a successful trajectory, or can a plot twist be introduced here? Number 9, acceptance and action. Because of what happened in the midpoint, how will the protagonist adapt and move forward in their quest? Number 10, the climactic sequence. It's time to up the tension and stakes toward the final battle. Number 11, the resolution. Show us who the protagonist has become because of the journey they went on. Number 4, the Save the Cat outline. Save the Cat is adapted from screenwriting, but was fleshed out a bit by Jessica Brody for novelists. This plotting method is also similar to the hero's journey, but has 15 major beats instead of 12. I highly recommend getting a copy of her book if you want good examples of the 15 beats in action across a variety of genres. Before plotting your story, you do need to start with your main character and give them 1, a problem or flaw they need to fix, 2, a want, what's their goal, and 3, a need, which ties into the theme or life lesson that they need to learn. Now let's go on to the beats. So number 1, we have our opening image. It's our before shot of the hero in their normal pre-journey life. Number 2, theme stated. Character hints at the novel's theme or what the protagonist must learn by the end. Number 3, the setup. Show the hero's regular life and uncover their flaws. Number 4, the catalyst, also known as the inciting incident that pushes the character into action or helps them discover the new world of their story. Number 5, the debate or prep. If you're going classic hero's journey, the protagonist will try to get out of committing to whatever they're supposed to do. If they know they have to take action, then this beat will be focused on their preparation to go on that journey. Number 6, break into 2. Hero accepts the call to action and crosses the threshold into Act 2. Number 7, B story. Introduce your protagonists, Ron and Hermione, or side characters who will help the protagonist in their new world. Number 8, fun and games. Show the hero succeeding or failing in their new world. Number 9, midpoint. The character either has a false victory or a false defeat that propels them into Act 3. Number 10, bad guys close in. This could be literal bad guys or the character's flaws kicking into high gear to self-sabotage. Number 11, all is lost. Your protagonist has hit rock bottom and feels like nothing else to lose. Number 12, dark night of the soul. The character reacts to the all is lost beat and processes why it happened and figures out what they need to do next. 13, break into 3. The protagonist has an aha moment and learns what they need to do to be successful. 14, the finale. The protagonist has learned the theme and is ready for the climax or the final battle. 15, the final image. This is a mirror shot of the opening image to show the protagonist's transformation and how far they have come. And number 5, this is Katie Tastic's 9-block outlining method. If you want to make sure your plot points are spaced out for pacing or have a general idea of what chapters your major scenes should be happening in, you might like this 9-block or 27-chapter outline. I'll also drop a link in the description below where you can watch the creator of this outlining method actually fill in the grid. But under Act 1, we have Chapter 1, which is the introductions. Chapter 2, inciting incident. Chapter 3, fallout. Chapter 4, the reaction or the rebel. Chapter 5, action. Chapter 6, a consequence of that action. Chapter 7, the pressure builds. Chapter 8, introduce a plot twist. Chapter 9, push. Then we move into Act 2 and start with Chapter 10, showing the new world. Chapter 11 is the fun and games. Chapter 12, we have a show of the old juxtaposition where the character's new world kind of intertwines with their old to show them, hey, here's how far you've come so far, but also home is right there if you want to leave this journey. Chapter 13, we've got the build-up. Chapter 14 is your midpoint. Chapter 15, the reversal. Chapter 16, another consequence. Chapter 17, trials. Chapter 18, dedication, as we are now moving into Act 3, with Chapter 19, the calm before the storm. Chapter 20, time for another plot twist. Chapter 21, the darkest moment. Chapter 22, power within. Chapter 23, action or rally. Chapter 24 is where everyone converges to prepare for the final battle. Chapter 25 is that final battle. Chapter 26 is the climax, and Chapter 27 is the resolution. So I hope these 5 outlining methods help you on your journey to becoming a plotter. Again, there's nothing wrong with being a pantser. I love being a pantser, but again, I have found being able to plot my story out in advance helps me find plot holes, make sure that each scene I write, I have the right motivation or character knowledge to actually complete that scene in the best way I can. So I hope these are helpful for you, but if you have your own favorite novel outlining method, please feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time on Fiction Files.